What if you could hear what the animals say? Not just their calls, but their thoughts, their memories, their grief, their warnings? Would it be a gift? Or a burden? This is the story of a girl who was born with the ears of the wild, who saved her village not with weapons, but with words. But the elephants she spoke to did not forget her. And when her people turned against the herd, she learned that some languages are not meant to be translated, and some debts cannot be paid with words. Adanna was born in the shadow of Kilima Tembo, Elephant Mountain. Her first word was not mama or baba. It was a low, guttural rumble that made the cattle low and the chickens scatter. Her mother, terrified, took her to the village elder, Mzee Juma, who listened to the story and laughed. "The child is not cursed," he said. "She is chosen. The elephants have spoken to her. She carries their voice." As Adanna grew, her gift became clear. She could stand at the edge of the forest and hear the elephants' conversations, where the water was, which paths were safe, when the rains would come. The village prospered because of her. They knew when to plant, when to move their cattle, when to avoid the paths of the great herds. But Adanna also heard the elephants' sorrow. The poachers who came in the night. The fences that cut their ancient trails. The calves that died from thirst because the river had been diverted. The elephants were growing angry. Their grief was a slow, building pressure, a storm waiting to break. Adanna warned the elders. The elephants are patient, but they are not forgiving. If we take more of their land, if we continue to harm them, they will rise. And when they do, no wall will stop them. The elders nodded, but did nothing. Progress was more important than elephants. Then the rains failed. The river shrank. The elephants, desperate, began to move toward the village. The only place where water still pooled in the deep wells. Adanna watched the herd gather at the edge of the forest. Hundreds of them, their eyes reflecting the dying sun. She knew what they were planning. She could hear it in the low, rhythmic rumbles that passed between them like a war drum. They have taken our water. They have taken our children. They will take no more. The matriarch, an ancient elephant named Nandi, the one who had knelt before Adanna when she was a child, called her forward. "Little voice," Nandi said, her words vibrating through the earth. "We have protected your people because you asked. But your people have not protected us. The water is gone. The calves are dying. We must go where the water is. If your people stand in our way, we will walk through them." Adanna stood before the herd, her heart breaking. "Let me go to the village. Let me tell them. I will find a way to share the water, to make them understand. You have spoken for them before." They did not listen. Why should they listen now? Because now they have no choice. Nandi was silent for a long moment. Then she rumbled, deep and low. "You have until the moon rises. If your people do not move, we will." Adanna ran to the village. She found the elders gathered around a fire, discussing how to defend against the approaching herd. Warriors sharpened spears. Hunters prepared poison. Adanna threw herself before them. "You cannot fight them. There are hundreds. They will trample us all." The chief, a stern man named Chinua, glared at her. "Then what do you suggest? Let them take our water? Our wells are all we have." "Share the water," Adanna pleaded. "There is enough if we ration. They will take only what they need, and then they will leave. I have spoken to them. They do not want to fight. They are desperate." Chinua's face twisted. "You would have us share with beasts? They are animals, Adanna. They do not reason. They do not bargain. They only take." "You are wrong," she said. "I have heard them. They remember every kindness, every cruelty. They have protected us for generations because I asked them to. Now I ask you to protect them." Chinua stood, his voice hard. "The girl speaks for elephants, not for her people. We will defend what is ours. If you stand with the herd, you are no longer one of us." The elders murmured, but no one spoke for her. Adanna looked at them, the people she had saved with her gift, the people who now called her a traitor. She turned and walked back toward the forest. The moon rose. The herd moved. Adanna stood at the edge of the village alone, as the first elephants emerged from the trees. Nandi led them, her tusks white in the moonlight, her eyes fixed on the village ahead. Behind Adanna, she heard the villagers preparing for battle. Spears clinked. Drums beat. Warriors shouted. She raised her arms, blocking the path. "Nandi, wait. I could not make them listen. But I beg you, spare the children. The ones who cannot fight. Let me lead them away." Nandi stopped. The herd stopped behind her. "You ask us to spare those who would kill us? I ask you to remember that you are not like them. You are older. Wiser. You do not kill for vengeance. You kill for survival. Let me take the children. The rest," she swallowed, "the rest will face what they have earned." Nandi's eyes, ancient and deep, studied Adanna. Then she rumbled, and the sound seemed to carry through the earth, through the village, through the hearts of all who heard it. "You have always spoken truth, little voice. We will let the children pass. But we will not leave this place until the water is shared. If your people choose death over sharing, we will give them what they choose." Adanna ran back into the village. She found the children huddled in the central hut, crying, clutching their mothers. She knelt before them. "Come with me," she said. "I will take you somewhere safe. The elephants have promised, they will not harm you." Some mothers hesitated. Others, seeing the herd drawing closer, handed their children to her. She led them through a gap in the village fence, into the darkness, toward a cave she knew in the hills. Behind her, she heard the first screams. She did not look back. She led the children, 30 of them, up the rocky path to the cave. She sat with them through the night, singing lullabies, covering their ears when the sounds of the village grew too loud. By dawn, it was over. She returned to find the village in ruins. The wells had been broken open, the water flowing freely into the earth. The elephants were gone. And the warriors who had chosen to fight lay scattered, many wounded, some dead. Chinua sat against a broken wall, his arm bleeding, his eyes hollow. He looked up at Adanna. "You let them destroy us," he whispered. Adanna shook her head. "I tried to save you. You chose to fight. The elephants only wanted water. You would not share. Now the water is gone for everyone." Chinua had no answer. The village rebuilt slowly, but it was never the same. The wells were dry. The elephants did not return. And Adanna was no longer welcome. Some said she had betrayed her people. Others whispered that she had become more elephant than human, that her voice was no longer meant for them. She left before they could decide what to do with her. She walked into the forest, following the path the herd had taken. She found them days later, at a hidden waterhole deep in the mountains. Nandi was waiting. "You have nowhere else to go," the matriarch said. It was not a question. Adanna nodded. "Then stay. Your voice will be needed. The world is changing, little one. The old ways are dying. But as long as we remember, they are not gone." Adanna stayed. She lived among the elephants, learning their ways, listening to their stories, becoming their keeper. She never returned to the village. But sometimes, on quiet nights, the villagers hear a sound from the hills, a low, rhythmic rumble, like thunder rolling across the sky. And they know that somewhere, Adanna is speaking to the herd, reminding them of the promise she made, and the promise they kept. The elephants have not forgotten her. And she has not forgotten her people. Adanna learned that speaking for those who cannot speak for themselves is not a gift, it is a burden. That understanding does not guarantee being understood. And that sometimes, the only way to save those you love is to let them face the consequences of their choices. Her story teaches us that the voice of the wild is not a weapon to be used, but a trust to be honored. And when that trust is broken, the silence that follows is heavier than any words. But what do you think? Was Adanna right to let the elephants take what they needed, even knowing the village would suffer? Could she have done more to convince the elders? And what would you do if you could hear the voices of the animals, and they asked you to choose between them and your own people? Let me know in the comments below. Adanna walks with the herd, and the herd remembers. But the world is changing, and the old ways are not gone, they are waiting. If you want to hear the next part of her journey, you know what to do. Don't forget to subscribe for more original, chilling tales from the Safari of Tales. We walk where the wild ones walk. Until next time, listen to the earth. It might be speaking.